welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, my name is LORENAAGUIRRE and I post here on my YouTube channel every Monday and Saturday, so please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And let's go ahead and jump in. If you guys do want to see how I prep these, make sure to check out my prep video. But I went ahead and prepped them, and then I am just applying these tips. These tips are from MONTAGE, and they are the stiletto tips. You could keep them long or cut them, but we are going to be cutting them down and creating a little mini almond shaped, kind of more rounded almond. But we are going to go ahead and do that. You guys will see my method of how I do that. I use the nail clippers a lot when I am doing it. But to apply them, I went ahead and already prepped and glued most of them on. I just wanted to show you guys. Last minute I asked her if I could film on her nails, and she let me do so. So of course, here we are. The glue that I am using is a KDS glue. I really do like this glue. I feel like any nail glue that you do have, though, it will work. But I've been using this for a little while, and I like to keep the cap on it and upright in my drawer just so it doesn't end up gluing shut and all that jazz. But even if it does, if you guys have like a pair of pliers, what you can do instead of cutting it shorter with the scissors, you could actually get the pliers and kind of squeeze it, and all of that dried up glue will come off. But so now I'm going to go ahead and cut them down. We are debating whether or not what size we should do, and then I like to take the rounded edge nail clippers and I like to create my shape with that and then finish creating it with my file. I do feel like this kind of gives me like a rough outline of what the nail will look like, and I do know I'm gonna have to do a little bit of shaping, but this helps, so your shaping is actually a lot faster than if you were starting to shape them from a square. Alright, now you guys are going to see me go ahead and take those clippers, and I'm going to cut them on each side. They don't have to be perfect, but just taking off enough of that rounded edge. And again, she didn't want them super pointy, so I am going to be rounding them more even with the file. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my 80/80 grit. I made sure to score the sides. If you guys are new to nails and don't know what scoring the sides is basically getting another file and filing across the edges of the nail file on all four corners of the nail file, if that makes any sense. So the part that you see right here that's up against the skin, sometimes when it is super coarse, it does end up cutting your client, so especially right here in the corners of the nail. But so basically what you're going to want to do is just run that file along there, and it helps get the sharp edge off, so you are less likely to cut your client. So I really like to do that and make sure that it's nice and prepped before I have my clients, just because a lot of times, like, if you don't, chances are, especially if you're a beginner nail tech, or if you guys have been doing it for a while, it's always likely to cut your client. So if you want to minimize that, definitely make sure you are scoring the files and getting that edge off. But now I'm just going to go ahead and show her a shape. I showed her the first nail, and then I went off of that one. And usually I'll show them the first one and I'll ask them, how is that? Do you want it more pointed? Do you want it more rounded? And things like that. But after she had seen them, she realized that I did end up doing it was too pointed, so we ended up actually going in and rounding them a little bit more, but which honestly, it was such an easy fix just because you kind of had to like bevel it kind of back and forth. And then I like to take that little angle off of the bottom of the tip and rounding that out too. From the top you are unable to see it, but as soon as you turn the nail to the sides, you guys will be able to kind of see that the nail drops a little bit, and I feel like it gives like kind of a weird look, so that you'll see me kind of going underneath the nail and kind of fixing that and making sure it looks nice and pretty when it grows out and things like that. And you guys could see that I'm not spending a ton of time filing this. Honestly, you guys, I feel like this is one of the easier shapes as long as you are making sure you keep track of where that point is. I like to make an imaginary line from their knuckle down, and kind of doing that, it kind of helps me pretend that there is a line down the center and that it helps make the point directly in the middle. And I also like to turn their hand around as well, and I like to check the angle that way as well, just because sometimes looking at it dead on, it is kind of hard to see the shape. And I also like to ask my clients, like, how is it looking? Is there anything you want different? And things like that before I move on to the next step. Just because I do feel like it helps make sure that their nails are to their liking, and the way they see their nails is in a different angle that you see their nails. So always make sure to check with them, making sure that everything is good. And right here you guys could see that is where I'm rounding out, and I'm kind of just going back and forth a little bit, and I like to compare all of them together to see if some of them are still too pointed or if I need to fix one or the other. And I went ahead and asked her to check them again, and she liked the shape, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step. And she was making sure she was able to type, just because with her job she does do a lot of typing. Now I'm going to go ahead and blend that tip in. You guys could pretty much use any sanding band for this, but when you guys are doing this step, you're going to really want to make sure that you are not filing into their natural nails. You are just filing just the tip and the tip alone. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and dust those babies off, and I'm going to go ahead and pull out some of my swatches so she could see what kind of color she's wanting to go for. But she did end up having a picture, so she was showing me the picture. I don't know who the artist is, who she was inspired by, but we are going off of that picture. I think she found it off of Pinterest. If you guys can tag the artist, if you guys know who it is, please go ahead and do so. But I went ahead and dehydrated. I dehydrated her twice, and then I'm going to go ahead and prime her twice as well. If there are any products you guys are looking for on the links below, sometimes I do have them on my Amazon storefront, so definitely make sure to check out my link tree, and you guys will be able to see everything is listed there. I do really try my best to list everything down below, but if there's anything that you feel like is missing or that you want to know where it's from, be sure to comment down below and I'll be more than happy to find it for you if I am able to. And now you guys can see I am going in with that second coat of primer. I love doing it this way just because I feel like before I would only do one coat, and one coat it does do a good job, but I like to have that extra insurance on the nails and making sure that they are going to last them. And if there was an area that I might have not gotten with the first coat, that doing the second coat, it made sure I went over the whole entire nail. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my dapping dish. I did end up actually just getting this dapping dish, and I actually really love this one. It is a very low profile, and it does have a lid that goes on top. So I feel like this is great just in case when I am doing nails, if I need to cover it, I am able to cover it. But now we're going to go ahead and go in with Desert Rose and swatch it on the paper towel for her. The other one that we are going to be swatching is that one was Desert Peach, the first one, and the next one, the lighter one on the paper towel, that one is Desert Rose. We did end up using Desert Rose, which honestly, after this video, I do need to run and go and get more of this. This is one of my clients' favorites, so I feel like I always have to have that and Desert Peach in stock just because these are my clients' favorites. When I last bought these were $24.99 for them, and it does come with 4 ounces. So honestly, you guys, if you guys are looking for a good acrylic brand, definitely make sure to check out Montage. Their acrylics are compatible with Young Nails monomer liquid. So if you guys are used to that liquid or the Young Nails liquid, I definitely recommend trying out this acrylic just because I feel like using it with either their monomer or Young Nails monomer, I feel like it works like a dream either way. So honestly, you guys, I definitely recommend trying those two out if you guys are kind of skeptical about trying a new brand. I know sometimes getting into a new brand when you guys have been using one for so long, it's, I don't know, you just may not want to, but if you guys are thinking of trying them, definitely recommend Desert Peach and Desert Rose. Desert Rose is the one we are using in the video. And then another one that I do get is the Milky White from Montage. That one is a really good one too, and it's a favorite of my clients. And with this one too, if you guys get the big one, it is $45.99. They even have a bigger size than this one, but this one's an 8-ounce jar, and it's for $46 basically, plus tax. But you guys, even if you guys wanted to do like a milky white with a hint of pink in it, you guys could use a majority of the milk white and just add a little bit of pink in it, and you guys will be able to get the colors you want or need. But again, this product, I do feel like it works really well with Young Nails monomer, so I love it for that. But yeah, in the milk white, I do have to get the big one because everybody and their mom was loving the milk white acrylic, so I had to hop on that and get some of that. But even if you guys wanted to make pastel colors out of that milk white, you guys are able to do so, and they look so pretty. I know sometimes when you first start out, it's really hard to get your collection going, but honestly, getting a big jar of clear acrylic and making your own acrylics, I feel like you guys would actually really love that. And the brush that I am using it is a Kiara Sky brush. I don't have a discount code with Kiara Sky, but I do have a local nail tech that she actually does. Her coupon code is Fabi10, so definitely recommend using that at checkout if you guys are looking to get this brush. I definitely recommend trying this out. It is super easy to clean out if acrylic gets stuck in it. The brush cleaner that I do use, it is from Montage, but it cleans it like a dream. I feel like you don't even really have to leave this brush soaking. I feel like it cleans out so well. So honestly, you guys, I definitely recommend it, and it's cute on top of that. It works good and it's cute. So it's a 10 out of 10 for me. But I do want to talk about application a little bit. So when I am doing my application, I do like to have my brush. I like to pick up enough product, but without it being so sopping wet. I know some people, they're able to like work with a brush super wet, but I like to dip it in, wipe off the side of the acrylic brush, and dab into my acrylic. And I do find it's best when you press twice into the powder, 2 to 3 times in the powder, and you get the perfect bead of acrylic. And you place it on and just blend it out. I still like to go in with the same size of a bead of acrylic for around the cuticle area, just because I do feel like it gives like a nice apex area. And you guys, I do want to mention something is when you guys are first starting out, if you guys are super particular about your placement, I feel like it's good, just because eventually your time will come and you guys will eventually be really fast. But if you guys are getting frustrated with it, definitely just make sure your acrylic is in the placement that it needs to be. But just keep in mind that you guys, if it's not a clean application, you guys are going to have to go in with a ton of filing. So definitely recommend checking out different products and things like that, finding what works for you. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and go in with an 80/80 grit file. You guys could get these at Nailie's and Rosemead, or you could also get a smaller version of this, or a skinnier version of this over at Montage Nail Supplies. I have yet to find them on Amazon, but I have still been on the search for you girls who love, girls and guys, the ones of you that you guys do shop on Amazon a lot. I am trying to search for them there every so often so I can show you guys them, but honestly they're a really great file. I love working with these. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in with a coarse medium to coarse sanding band, and I am just going to go ahead and blend that cuticle down and trying to make sure to keep that apex. And I like to go around the cuticle, making sure that it is nice and flush, and just go ahead and do it to all 10 fingers. And sometimes I will even try and touch up the shape of it a little bit if there is some things bothering me. I will use the e-file for that as well. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and buff these nails out, taking out all those scratches. And the grit that I use is an 80/80 grit. I use these, I feel like these small buffers, or like the tiny buffers, they don't work for me. So I do like having these ones just because I do feel like it's a happy medium. And I'm able to do each hand with them without having to switch out the buffers. I do feel like with the smaller buffers, I don't feel like I was able to ever get as much scratches out as I do with this one right here, are the larger ones. Just because I do feel like it limits me of how much motion I am able to do, and I feel like because it's so big, I'm able to run across it and it buffs more of it out in a timely manner, I guess. I know a lot of people, they do use the smaller buffers, but I just do prefer like a size like this. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that to all 10 fingers, and making sure if I do have to soften any of the edges at the tips, I'm going to go ahead and do that as well right now. And now I'm going to get my dust brush and try and get as much dust off. I like to get the dust off of all of the tops of our hands and things like that. And then I like to get my little dust brush, which is this one right here. And I like to put this on and then dust around the cuticles. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, it cut out on that part. But that is something that I really, really love to use on the cuticles, and it helps get all the dust out of like the cuticle area, just because I do feel like sometimes it does tend to get stuck right there. Now I'm just going to get my dotting tool, making 2 dots side by side. I don't like them to touch. I like to leave a little bit of space, just because otherwise once they go together, they end up bleeding together, where I feel like it just looks like one big blob. So honestly, keeping them a little bit of a distance away, I feel like it helps the heart look a lot nicer. And I'm just going to go ahead and paint these hearts on, and I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch. And I did want to go ahead and let you guys know I am going to be switching off. So every other hand that I do end up, once I do the design, I am going to be ending up switching up, putting that one in the lamp, and then switching back to the other. So you guys might see me doing that a lot. It is just so the gel doesn't move too much, just because this disco gel, I do feel like it moves a good amount. So I don't want the design to change. And sometimes what I will end up doing is actually accidentally bumping the nails while I am working on the other ones. So I feel like for me, it's actually better to cure on each hand first. So, and then you guys could see right here as I make the 2 dots, keep them a little bit away, and kind of just do a V and start to connect the heart. And it is just like that. Super, super easy, you guys. Honestly, you guys could make the hearts bigger or smaller depending on the dotting tool you want to use. If you have a larger dotting tool and you want them bigger, of course use that. Or if you want them smaller, you could use the small itty bitty one. Alright, you guys, I am going to go ahead and mat the nails out, and the mat that I am using is from Tracy's Nails, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that all over the nail, and once I cure that for 60 seconds, I'm going to pull them back out, and you guys will end up seeing that I am going to top coat over the hearts. She wanted the background to be matte and the hearts to be glossy. This next step is a little bit tedious, so if you guys want to do them exactly like this, just be prepared. Honestly, the quickest way that I felt like I was able to do this is to get the dotting tool and dot into the clear top coat, the glossy top coat, and put that on and just kind of like swirl it on and fill in the hearts almost, like just with the dotting tool. I felt like that was a lot easier than using the actual brush. You might need to go in with the brush to clean up the little points of the hearts, but everything else was a lot easier to do it with the dotting tool. I tried to do it with the brush right here first, but unfortunately the brush is just way too big, and I felt like I was gonna have to go back in and clean up a lot. So I was like, you know what, let's just stick to the other way. And then I am getting a 3D art brush, and I am just gonna go in and clean up the gel that decided to, or not decided, but the gel that it did end up going out of line. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in. You guys could see that I was trying to use this liner brush for that to put it in, but honestly the dotting tool was the best, and it was not as time consuming. Alright, in just a second, you guys are going to be able to see the finished look and what they look like with the flash on. They look so freaking pretty. She was super excited to have these for her Valentine's Day set. And you guys are going to be able to see the last set that I recreated. So if you guys are looking to look into more Valentine's Day nails, make sure to check out my YouTube channel and you guys will be able to see other sets that I have created. For you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, I'll be back with more videos. Bye!